Happy June 2024. This is going to be really lovely. I'm excited about it. I'm jazzed about it. It feels like the song Summertime. Like, really. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. I'm drinking an iced coconut milk matcha latte that I've sweetened with some local honey. Honey's not organic, actually. I know, it's local. And today we are talking about June 2024. We're going to go over some key dates. I'm going to start off with a Sarah update. I've mentioned it a few times before. I have updated my website and my offerings in the menu, but I just wanted to go into it, and I'll post the beginning of this on Instagram as well as on YouTube, but I'll timestamp it. So if you just want to get into June and you don't want to talk about Sarah's updates and stuff like that, you don't have to. So welcome, everybody. And if you are new to my table, my name is Sarah. I am so grateful that you're here. My consciousness, I'm not from around here at all. I've been on planet Earth for billions of years, and I'm along for the ride. I'm choosing for this to be my last human life. I use titles, for lack of better terms, that I'm a channeler, I'm a mystic, I do astrology work, I pull tarot cards, and I help you unpack and understand a little bit of the woo-woo and what is going on during this time and space of the awakening. And so my mission on YouTube is to find and help guide the new leadership team for the awakened, the ascended new earth. And so if you're here at my table, this is my multidimensional cafe. It's really just you and I chit-chatting across time and space with some coffee and tea. I've already had some espresso today, and it's been, my sensitivities are just super duper off the charts right now. I don't know if that's been happening to you, but the solar flares, everything that's going on, we are different versions of human beings than we've ever been before. Whatever label you've put on that is okie dokie. It really just means that things that you liked yesterday, you might not like today. Things that resonated yesterday, people, situations, jobs, everything is changing so quickly. So, if you're here with me, you're along for the ride, let's do it. Let's get into it. Please pause the video. I have my strawberry calcite today. If you want to go grab a coffee or tea, some water, if you want to grab your journal, we'll go over some key dates. I'm going to talk a little bit, like I said at the beginning, about some updates that I've gone through and what my offerings are going to be for a little while. So, go pause the video. Oh, your dad is rich and your ma is good looking. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. It's a beautiful rainy day here in Gloucester. And I actually put some conditioner in my hair last night, so she's doing it. She's doing it. So, update first. I have been called to make many changes. So I've mentioned kind of here and there in certain videos that on the 7th of June, on the new moon in Taurus, I went to see my new shaman, my new healer, and I had a upgrade, a changeover that I'm forever different. And it's so beautiful and it's so powerful and so important. And a lot of what changed, I really spent the month of May integrating, going very slowly. My one-on-one clients, the majority of them are my recurring clients. And I spent a lot of time really sinking into this new vibration. And so some of the biggest changes that I experienced within that healing is that certain guides that I have, because we know I have a whole bunch of guides, I have them tattooed here. We know this. And so a lot of my guides, there's 4 of them that have been with me since birth, have left, and they're not needed anymore. And it was very emotional. It was very beautiful and lovely. They were, mostly there to protect me, mostly there for protection, energetic protection, but they have left and they have new people on the planet, new souls to do their protection work with. And I had new guides come in that I'll be with some of them for the rest of my life, and some of them, are available for many people. Like I have two archangels, Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel, that I work with, one on one side, one on the other. And so that is an impenetrable protection that I now get to work with and experience. But that's not just me. They're available for everybody. It's like working with Yeshua. Everyone's available, and he's available for everyone. And I have a whole video I recorded last year as to like why Jesus is not coming back in human form. I just wanted to plant that seed. If anyone was interested, you can just do a search it's on YouTube. So just search Sarah Botticelli and then, why Jesus is not coming back. And you can find that video. I have one really divine feminine ET guide that I'm working with, and she's sassy AF. It's like, it's very efficient processes. I work with Buddha. I have animal energy that I'm working with. And so it's pretty powerful and divine and forever changed. Forever changed the way that I experience this world, the way that I view this world. And definitely I am so grateful to my Atlantean self. If you are new to this table, please go watch any of my past life tales. I have a whole playlist on them, and the past life tale in Atlantis. That would make a lot more sense as to what I'm saying and to how I have a very expressive and very intense oracle eye that is, as natural as I am, how I have the capacity to view things in the way that I do. And so when I'm viewing you and talking to you, my guidance team shows me their image over here. And then I have at least one other universe that I'm processing down here. So my baseline view is 3 universes. Baseline, like as human, baseline, 3 different universes. And, it happened, I don't even remember when it was. It was months ago or earlier this year. I don't even remember, where the view became like, I speak in lenses around here. It became not just like a flat eye, but like a fly's eye. And it was like the inside of a disco ball. And I have all of these different views that are going on. And it's very, very easy to access for me. It takes a lot of grounding every single day. And so with the new efficient team that I'm with the new processing, and with the new, I'm gonna say like maturity level, with great power comes great responsibility. So with that being said, that's like more of like the team changeover. And so what I had been called to do professionally for my business is to, I've started a Substack that's, like just, I'm going to be a lot more creative over there and express in more of my poetic words over there. So I'm going to add the link for that below. Definitely go subscribe there. It's going to be so much fun. My first post, spoke to the first image that I have now of when I first came to Earth was as a fallen angel. And so I wrote about it. I've never recorded it. I don't know if I ever will, but it's like, was the first time that I just got on the karmic cycle and why I've been here for billions and billions and billions of years. So it's been a ride. It's been a ride. Let's see. So I'm just reading my notes. So one of the biggest changes that is going to affect you here on YouTube is that I've been called to close my new moon and full moon Patreon workshop group and put all of that information out for free on YouTube. And so it's going to all be donation based. The link is always below for, I have a donation based Patreon, and, the PayPal is there, the Venmo is there. If you ever receive something from my videos, from my channels and downloads, and you're keen to give back, that supports my mission. This is my mission. This is why I'm on the planet. It's what I'm here to do, is to help offer you guidance and information. And after this human lifetime, I'm going back to the space and space that I come from for a while. I wrote about that on Substack. It was just so nice. It was so nice. So this new moon in Gemini that I post day of, I post the introductory video day of on YouTube. It's titled Ego. And it's hitting my ego, because I really appreciate and love that group. And so for my guidance team to say, go to a channel on YouTube, like I've done it before, but it's very intense and very intimidated to literally go into trance-like space and just to channel. Like I channel here with you, but like it's very powerful stuff. And so I'm recognizing that these messages are not in any way just for me. And I've said that before, but it's very, I'm going first, and I'm, trusting my guidance without question. But it's funny, I referenced in that video, I was like, yeah, when they tell me to go left or right or to go to the grocery store this time or this time, I'm like, okay, okie dokie, let's do it. But they're like, put everything out for free and offer your friends and family discount for every session you do. I'm like, cool. So that brings me to part 2, where is all of my sessions, I've, amalgamized everything all into really just a session with Sarah. It's my friends and family rate. It's $144 for a session. And so I am offering the recorded videos that I love to do, and definitely the latest one that I just did is the way that it's like the Jupiter and Gemini. Definitely go check that video out. It's the latest one, like, on my YouTube, but that style is how I do my recorded birth chart readings. So if you're keen for those, after payment, it's a 1 to 3 day delivery time for me to record those for you, and you can watch that video as long as you'd like. It's your birth chart. I spend, about half these to 3/4 of the time doing why you are the way you are, how the planets are really speaking to me, and I just let your guidance team talk to me and my guidance team give messages, and then I talk about the next most accessible, moon cycle, new moon or full moon. It could be the Jupiter transit, depending on your ascendant sign, depending on the amalgamation of your big 3. We just go over the entirety of your chart. So that is my friends and family discount. That's my friends and family rate. It's $144. Used to be $323 for that, or $298 for the recorded ones. And those are tougher to do over Zoom. So if you're interested, if you're not in the local Gloucester area, what we can do is a half of a recorded birth chart reading and then half of a processing session. That's very, very common to do. And I recommend, if you're brand new to my work, absolutely brand new to my work, we'll do a one-on-one Zoom first so you can get to know me. But if you have been watching my content for a while and if you've seen the way that I kind of shoot between the eyes when it comes to my information, then I can do the recorded chart first, and then we can debrief afterwards. So it's possible to do a half and half. That's something that's very, very available. I have clients that do that regularly. I also have clients that reach out just around the moon cycles, and we can look over the moon cycles. My mini sessions, they're about 20 to 30 minutes, and it's me, so it's a little bit more than that. It's $111 for a mini session. And so the processing, the channeling session, all of that is, again, $144 for a session. We can do that effortlessly over Zoom. My guides chit chat, your guides chit chat. We can do distance Reiki. We can do, if you're local, hands-on Reiki. I do house calls if you're local. There is a travel time. If you're not local, there's a travel time addition if it's a little bit outside of, like the North Shore area. In-person astrology reading, channeling, tarot processing. Yep. All guides. Yep. Zoom, 2 sessions, 1 recorded. In-person, house calls, North Shore. Also, please go check in the community section. I have my menu. Also, the link below is on my website, and all of the specialties that I have. If you're keen for astrology mentorship, I work with teens and tweens and 20-year-olds for self-mastery and kind of understanding yourself. Infant telepathy, pet Reiki, all the different things, senior care, all the different things. So everything's listed there if you're interested. And please, if you do not know what to do or where to start, let's just have a consultation. It's a live 15-minute chit chat, completely free, and we'll just talk. We'll see how I can best be of service, how I can best help you. If you'd like to, just email me and we can chat back and forth there. I've really, in the past month, 2 months, been stripped of all the different egoic things, down to the core. So I apologize to anyone that I ever expressed egoic tendencies to, or if I gate kept, is that the word? Any of my information, any of my channeling. It's just, dude, I've just got like, the parable that I like to give is if it's like the universe just like takes a boot, God just takes a boot and just like chucks it at my face. And it's like, oh, okay. I got the message. Thank you. Awesome. All right. So that's my update for you. Now, let's see. Now let's get into June. And like I said, I'm going to timestamp it so you don't have to worry about. I just want to put that over so you can see the board a little bit. I'm going with the mood Latin today It's rainy out. And I'm trying to be cognizant of like the words that we speak dictate our reality. We know that our thoughts, words, actions, and intentions dictate our reality. So I went out to see a really fun band on last Friday night with my dear friend, with my soul sister. We went to see Safety. It was so much fun, and it was 80s music, and I'm like dancing around to everything. But so if you've been here at my table, you know I don't eat sugar. I don't eat any processed food, really. How do I say? No sugar, no canola oil, gluten, unless it's a very special occasion. Sugar, if it's a special occasion. Like I went out last week on the full moon and I had sugar, gluten, dairy, all of the things. And it's just like my skin flared up. I just dealt with it. It took 3 days to really process like the thing. And so we're like, it's all 80s music. And so instead of, you know, the song Candy, I'm not going to say it because I don't. So you could change the words to songs that you don't want to create. So I was singing, I want mangoes, because you know I love my dried organic mangoes. So I know, it's Gemini season, so I'm a little bit like, So let's go over June, like the title of the video. It's lovely. It's going to be really lovely. And so there's a lot to that I want to discuss. I'm going to put the link to, it takes a certain level of disassociation to function in 2024 right now. And there's also a video that I recorded a while ago that I've mentioned just about, it's a very triggering video, but it was with my new guidance team, so I have to post it. It's just about like, if you're overly concerned with things that are happening way over there, you're kind of gaslighting yourself into thinking that you don't have to do the inner work. There's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of different things to unpack in there. It's more podcast style. So I'm going to post that and then put the link for that below. What is it called again? Yes. I don't remember what I called it, but I'll put the link for that below. So the reason that I mention that is because if you're here with me at my table, you've been doing your inner work. Oh my goodness, sorry, I recognize like I'm wearing the same thing in most of my videos. I wore this shirt, I wore, you know, my green one for the ego video that you'll see in a few weeks. And it's just like, there's only certain clothes that resonate right now. Like I went to Marshall's the other day, I bought a new dress, I bought these new pants. It's kind of like business on top and then exercise pants on the bottom. And I just love them, they're so cozy. You know, when you get like the secret little pocket in your exercise pants, yeah, I have my black tourmaline in there, it's really nice. No, it's the shungite, pardon me. It's like the tiny little zipper pocket, I'll show you. Okay, so let's get into June. This is a general wheel behind me. Starts in Aries and goes all the way around over to Pisces. I have in front of me like June 1st to July 1st. But let's talk about the dates. We're going to go over certain dates. We're going to go over them one by one. These are just some key dates where we have either amalgamations of planets, we have changing of planets into signs. And so these are just the key dates that I'm looking out for myself, but really choose your favorites. Sometimes looking at some of your ruling planets, pardon me, what do you mean by that, Sarah? Look at your sun, moon, and rising and look at the planets that run those signs. For example, I'm an Aries sun, run by Mars, Capricorn moon, run by Saturn, Scorpio rising, run by Pluto and Mars. Yeah, it's kind, it's nice. So doubly run by Mars. I really check Mars. If there's a Mars-Saturn amalgamation, I always check that out. Pluto's a slow burners, but whatever house it's in, like for me, Pluto is in my 3rd house of communication, early learning, and short trips. That's getting rocked. Yeah, my entire, like, not even awakening. Yes, the awakening, but also at the same time, like, the way that I communicate to my guides is forever changed and forever different. So I'm very, very excited about that. So let's get started. On the 2nd, and this is going to take a little while. So it's just when it peaks where we're going to have a Jupiter trine Pluto retrograde. So Pluto is right over here. Can you see it? Yeah, retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. It's at 1 degree of Aquarius, and it's going to stay at 1 degree of Aquarius for the entirety of June. It's not going to dip back, I don't want to say down, but it's kind of interesting that I said that, because it's like it's going to go back into Capricorn, which is like the end of top-down authority. It's not going to do that until September. So we have tons of time to worry about that, and it's just going to be September till like November 19th, I want to say, which is interesting. I live in the United States. I might do, and I kind of want to do, another chart reading for the United States just to check up on her. I haven't done that in a few years. So I'll do that. And it's just for anyone that's within the United States, you can kind of get that vibration. So that's very, very interesting. And then we have Jupiter, this big gulp over here. This is your chair, by the way. I'm going to just move it to the side. Right over here in Gemini. And I have 2 entire videos of the Jupiter and Gemini transit. One where I'm chit-chatting face-to-face, and we talk about the tarot, we talk about like what that means, and then I do an all signs reading as well, which is my grid. So definitely go check those 2 videos out. I'll put the links for those below. So you can kind of get a little bit of information about what those, because we speak in lenses around here. So it's like, what are you talking about, Sarah? Jupiter, Gemini. And I talked about in that video, in the first video, I think it's titled this, like, what you focus on will expand, no matter what. So that's why this video and this month is about the loveliness of the month. But we have to remember that the lovelier our world gets, because we got on trains. We've been talking about this for a little while. I talked about it in my Monday video. You got about a month. Definitely go check that video out. You can always tell it's a Monday video because the picture's to the side. By the solstice, we have gotten on trains. You cannot get on the other train. It's been the split, the divide, Pangea split, whether it be, 2012, whether it be 2020, whether it be whenever you have decided that that split happened, you can't get on the other train. You can't. So if you're here with me, you're on the love, the processing, the working with the energies of the planet, letting your ego get stripped away, you're on that train. There is another train. So the more you shine, the darker that train is going to look. And we cannot pity, we cannot judge the people that are on that train, because I've had to be in the darkest of holes for me to recognize that I was the light and then to crawl out of it. So everyone's on their path. There is no judgment. You are exactly where you're meant to be, but so recognize that it's going to be harder to watch the news. It's going to be harder to see a lot of these things that are happening outside of ourselves, outside of our control. But we have to trust. We have to trust that everything is in perfect time. Everything is happening. We cannot pity. We can pray. We can be a part of healing circles, meditation circles, all of these different things. Spending 1, 2, 3 times a day, sending love to everyone on the planet. You can do these things. Definitely go watch the disassociation video. I have tools in there for you. Reach out directly. Just send me an email. We can chit chat. You are not alone. You are not alone. It is absolutely terrifying. It is gut-wrenching. It is disturbing. Yeah, for me to say like, yeah, there's a significant amount of death happening on the planet right now, and it's pretty grotesque, and the children and everything that's going on with them and the sex trafficking, it's just really, yeah. I'm a Scorpio rising conjunct Pluto, dude. I get it. And like, I've gone through childhood sexualization. I get it. It's not easy to be able to experience this, but if you look at it, you're gonna create more of it. So acknowledge that it's happening, and then take responsibility for your niche, your thing. And that's what I speak of in that gaslighting video, which I will definitely post now that I'm saying this. Pick your thing. You cannot save the planet. Pick your specific niche. For me, it's the children. And I pray, and I send light, and I help in the tunnels, and I do my thing. That is where I put the majority of my focus. I send my light and my energy to everyone on the planet, because we all ascend together. We all do. So pick your specific niche and focus your energy there. Not soapboxing it, but in your meditative space, after you've filled up your cup and your cup runneth over, then send energy. You can't give from an empty cup. You can't give the cup away. Libra, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. So we have Jupiter. I'm sorry, that was a full tangent, but I just want to speak to that because all of the lenses that I just spoke about, Jupiter in Gemini, what you focus on will expand. So you don't want to focus on the negative and expand more of the negative. You want to shine your light brighter. Do you see the difference? So that more people are welcome in the light. That's what I want you to focus on, because this is free flowing energy between communication, early learning, and short trips, and community, friendships, and wishes for the future. Beautiful flowing energy. This is also the house of technology. Aquarius, the two little wavy lines, electricity, technology. This is going to be information coming in hot. I'm not going to repeat everything I say in the Jupiter videos. I apologize. I'm getting ahead of myself. So that's on the second. On the third, we're going to have Mercury, our communication planet, going into the sign of Gemini. Gemini is run by Mercury. Mercury loves being in Gemini. Information coming in hot, downloads coming in hot. Everybody's coming online. Like random people that you and I have maybe pegged as being like unconscious are going to be communicating effortlessly to their ancestors and their grandparents across all time and space. I know, I see it too. And so, also, let me know if you're interested. I have been called to do like a little bit of a intuitive listening type of a seminar. I'm thinking maybe over Zoom. Please let me know if you're interested in that. Comment below or send me an email, because we are all, the amount of people in my human life that are keen to be helpful, but they're like, I don't have a I don't have a certificate, I don't have a piece of paper, I don't have anything. So I feel as though I would love to offer some version of not like a certification, but something that you can say, hey, I've gone through something to qualify me to be more of an intuitive listener. And so it's a lot of voices going off in your head, and to be able to say like, this isn't my stage. Don't put my ego, don't put my opinion on this in here. Just be able to listen and to know when the danger zone is, when it's over your head, so just let me know if you're interested, especially with this transit right over here. That's on the third. So I really like that. I really like this. I really like Mercury going into Gemini. Downloads coming in hot, information coming in hot. Have a dream journal. Dreams are popping off right now. There's so much to say about dreams. And years ago, I did a lot of little videos on dreams and what's going on in that space. Because we live in a quantum multiverse, there's many different things happening. And especially during, I don't want to call it the tail end, but we're past the point of no return of your awakening, of the ascension of the planet. So what's going on here is that the reverberal remnants of karmic attachments and things that we thought that we healed, we're going to experience it in the dream space. Mother issues, father issues, sibling issues, high school issues, old partner issues, all coming out in the dream space just to be healed. And you don't have to experience it in the here and now that your consciousness is in. So your consciousness is running this human avatar, named Sarah, named Steve, named whatever your name is across all time and space, Jenny, whatever your name is. So know that your consciousness has other things to do. When you wake up after a night of astral traveling and doing things, you just feel like a boot hit you and you're like, oh jeez. So your consciousness is going to other dimensions, healing what it is that you need to heal, showing you a vision of it so that you can put it behind you. If you want to write it out, dude. Write it out. My love affair of pen and paper journaling, I even have an entire video on that. It's in the toolbox. Go watch that. It gets to the unconscious and the subconscious. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, that's the third. So the fourth is a very, very interesting day. I love the parables that my guides give me. So we are going to have the Sun conjunct Venus at 14 degrees of Gemini. And then we're going to have Mercury conjunct Jupiter at 2 degrees of Gemini. And then Mercury is going to be perfectly trining to Pluto over here on the same day, So, I love my guide so much. I just love the way that the images come to me. And it's a lens where, you know, when you have had like a ridiculous sugar rush, or you know when like, and this is only for certain people, you know when you took one edible and you're like, this isn't working. I'm going to take 2. And then you take 2 edibles. And then you get to like the festival, the picnic, whatever you're at, and you're just like, I can see the air breathing. That tree, I can see space and time. Like I can see the matrix and the experience, and just like, when it comes to taking, like, and I've been sober, completely sober for a few weeks now. I don't think it's going to be forever. I'm not going to project that onto myself. But for right now, it's just absolutely integral to me and my experiences. I've been smoking pot for 14 plus years, so it was time. I haven't had alcohol in many years, but it's cannabis flower that I've removed completely. And just so, but I have the tolerance for all substances. I have the tolerance of an Irish dock worker, so I would usually just like double up on edibles, on Scylla, on whatever it may be. I was, eating pot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I can speak to these things. But I would sometimes go out and be like, yeah, the air is breathing. The 3 wise men are here with me. I have all these experiences. Now that's just baseline. This is complete sobriety. I still have caffeine. That's the only thing that I'm ingesting right now, as you can see. I know, I gotta get it cut. It's very Rosanna Dana right now, but I'm going with it. So that's what this day is going to feel like, because it's all in Gemini. It's just going to be like, everything's popping. Or you're just having a sugar rush. Or, you took 2 shots of coffee, 2 double shots of espresso before your evening waitering shift, and you're like, I'm ready, let's do this. Yes, let's hug. That's how this day. It's Gemini season. I really want to be able to show you the little face of the guy. That's how we're going to feel. So just be open to it and enjoy the ride. I would say it's also the parable that my guides are giving me right now. Like, when you just like spin and spin and spin and spin and spin around, then you just lay on the earth and you're still like spinning. Just go out and look at the clouds. Just enjoy it. It's so magical to be a human being right now. Just enjoy the ride, dude. Yeah. And I'm hearing some of you say how disassociated that sounds. I have numerous videos, and I've spoken to it within the past half an hour about how disassociated you need to be. Okay? Oh, sugar rush at Disney. Where you're like, this is the best thing ever. Oh my God. You're just like, you can't control your emotions. I know. I've referenced, and that video, the gaslighting video, I talk about my Marvel obsession, and it's a lot. Okie dokie. June 6th, we're going to have that new moon in Gemini. It's at 16 degrees. I have a whole video on that. I'll post a day of, and like I said, that's going to be the last private Patreon workshop that I do. It's going to be available for free on YouTube, where I do my all signs reading, I do a tarot reading, I do a channeled message from my guides, and then I do a roundup as well, where I offer a recipe, sometimes recipe. The full moon in Sag, I was like, go out, get takeaway. But for this new moon in Gemini, it's going to be something that we've never cooked before, something that I've never cooked before, and then I'll put together something, because I want us to be stepping outside of our comfort zone, but this is hitting our ego in a lot of ways. And so if you feel as though your ego is getting punched in the teeth, recognize that you are consciousness running this human avatar. You ever ask yourself, I just got so mad at myself? Who is the you that's mad at you? So know that your human has their preferences, it has their traumas, it has their, I like coffee or tea, I like this and that. It has their own consciousness, but you have to talk to it and understand it and know what it is that you need and know what it is that you want and know that you're meant for something greater. Yeah, we can't fully fathom how big and small it is what we're going to do in this new world. And I'll talk about that later on at the full moon in Capricorn that's coming up There's so much to talk about, so I hope I'm making sense. But I have a whole video on that, so that is all I'm going to say about that. It's going to be exciting. I'm jazzed about it. I'm really jazzed about it. On the 9th, we are going to have Mars, our assertive planet, going into the sign of Taurus. I'm excited about that. My natal Mars is in Taurus. And so with all of this air energy, with all of this change, with all of this like, oh my God, I lost one of my little beads. Which one was it? Oh, it's the one right here. My third eye is just like, I'm sorry. This is what happens in Gemini season. This is how all of us are right now. I'm not apologizing anymore for my presentation. I am the way that I am. And if you're here with me, it's because you accept it and you're enjoying it. So what was I saying? Mars liked being in Aries because Aries was run by Mars. Mars is run by Aries. It's like, I just loved that just happened. I'm sorry. I'm jazzed about the way that the world is. Things move around here on a very regular basis. Oh my God. So there's this really cute spider. I'm just going to complete aside, but I just wanted to share this. So my friend at the restaurant the other day was telling me about this spider that she saw, and she was like, it ended up being a jumping spider, and it jumped on me. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. Fast forward 2 days later, I have a new spider that's in my house, and it's so, so sweet. I think it's a female spider, and I made friends with it, and I just said, you're welcome here. Please make yourself comfortable and at home. I appreciate you being here. I checked my shamanic animal book and was looking into like the messages of spider energy, so I was very, very excited about it. And so I was putting myself to bed the other day, and I was just like walking by the pantry, and the spider had moved over into the hallway, and I was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. Yeah, the spider literally turned around and then tried to jump at me. Like, it's so good to see you too. And I freaked out. I had to apologize because the spider was then standing there on the ground after like I'd thrown a tissue at it. I was freaking out. And I was just like, I am so sorry. And she was like, yeah, dude, you told me we were friends. And then I tried to be friends with you and hug you, and you literally threw your tissues at me. It was okay. She's in the bedroom yesterday and all's well. We've apologized and made up, but it was just like, I felt really bad. I felt bad because I was so open and so lovely and so like, yay, we're friends. And then she's like, well, I wanted to hug you. And then you literally threw your tissues at me and mangoes. I don't want to talk about it. I was very embarrassed. So Mars in Aries is happy. We're asserting ourselves. We're appreciating the assertion. I feel as though that was really the time for us to understand after that Mercury in Aries transit. So I want you to go back for my leaders to end of March, the entirety of April. Yeah, from the end of March into April. How did I learn the boundaries of my communication? And then in May, how did I assert those new boundaries? How did I express those new boundaries? That was, the lenses of Mercury in Aries and then Mercury retrograde in Aries. And then when Mercury went into Taurus, we had a little bit more grounding. We just left people on red. And then when Mars was in Aries, it was really like, if you didn't do the thing in April, May was like, here's another one. Here's another option. Here's another option. Here's another option. So my guides are speaking. You don't have to do all of the work. You just have to say yes and listen. That's where the dreams are coming in. That's where a lot of these like grosser or, you're having those conversations, you're dealing with things that maybe happened in high school people, like old boyfriends and girlfriends are coming up. And that's the dream space because it's so quantum and you're processing so efficiently that the dreams are the space for the heavy lifting. It's still your soul doing it. Just know that just by saying yes, and I talk about that in the new moon video, just by saying yes, by saying, God, I trust you and I'll do what you tell me to do, then God helps. Then your guidance team comes in and helps. Everything just works in your favor when you act in love. It was really that Jim Carrey speech, and I've mentioned it so many times. It's the Maharaji University of Management 2014 commencement address, where he says that he says it eloquently, but we know this. I just like to reference that speech. Every decision that you make is based in fear or love. That's it. Fear wears different masks. It has different lenses. It could come off as aggression. It could come off as ghosting. It could come off as all different things. But if you just say, I will act in love, in trust, then the universe works in your favor. Everything works out in your favor. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And if it's your ego that wants something and it's not coming to be, let your higher self surprise you with something better. Looking at you, kid. So Mars and Taurus, I feel like we are going to be putting in the determination towards what it is, not our greatest goals, but our mission. Our mission. Like, I eat this work for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is my mission. It is my passion. It is why I'm on this planet. It is not work. I'm rebranding. This is mission. This is mission. I don't care what time of day it is. I don't care if I get a download. I'm recording it. I'm doing it. I'm researching it. Like, I spent the day yesterday doing back end stuff and I was jazzed. I was jazzed. These are things that I used to, even a few months ago, be like, I just want to hire someone to do this. I just don't want to do this. I want to know how every little bit of this works. Thank you. Oh, I closed the blind. Okay. So this is a day, the 17th is an exciting day. I'm really excited about this one. So I want you to write down, this is when Mercury and Venus go into the sign of Cancer together. They're going to conjunct each other. So we're going to have Mercury, oh, pardon me. Oh my God. And Venus go into the sign of Cancer together. And so, as you can see in the general wheel, this is the roots of the tree of our life. This is the base of the entire chart. And so, home, my pocket of the world, safety is key. Like, this is siblings, your immediate surrounding neighbors, and this is mother stuff. Up here is father stuff. We'll talk about that soon. But this is really cultural, ancestral roots. And so, I love that the number 17 is coming in, because the last time that we had Venus and Mercury conjunct was on the 17th, it was on the 19th of April at 17 degrees of Aries. I'm going to repeat all of that. So on the 17th of June, we have Mercury and Venus conjunct going into the sign of Cancer together. The last time they were conjunct was on the 19th of April at 17 degrees of Aries over here. That was very close to Chiron. Chiron right now, today, is at 22 degrees of Aries. And it's going to go from 22 to 23 degrees of Aries in June. So I'm just going to put Chiron down. Honorable mention for Chiron. Can you see Chiron? There we go. There we go. And so we talked about it back then. I don't remember what video it was, but I remember referencing it and looking ahead to this time. I love the quantumverse. I love the quantum multiverse. Like, it's just so cool. And YouTube is just such a helper for that, where it's like we're just chit-chatting across time and space. I know. I love you too. I love you too. So that's going to be very, very exciting. I love when these two hold hands, because Venus is such a lovely, it's our yin planet. It's how we receive love. It's where we're soft, more divine feminine, where Mars is more that divine masculine over there. This is really, really lovely healing energy. And it just really speaks to what my guides just channeled through, which is you are not alone. Your ancestors, and I'm not the first person to say this, your ancestors didn't just give you the karmic debts and all of like the ancestral wounds. They're trying to give you their blessings. They're trying to give you the woo-woo that they didn't use. All of that. All of that. Like, yeah, for my ancestral line, a lot of my ancestors, they didn't use any of their woo-woo. I'm sorry, I'm getting chilly. And so we've had ceremony where they've given me all the woo-woo. Not all of it. You know, my nephew has a bunch and my sisters have it, whatever they want. So not all of it, but the ones that they wanted to give me. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. So this is beautiful. Dreams coming in hot. Channels coming in hot. Ideas coming in hot. But you have to quiet the noise. You have to quiet the noise. Definitely go watch The Safety is Key, Connecting to Interdimensionals. I put a lot of information about, there's a lot of voices going off in your head at all times. Is this mine? Is this my higher self? Is this an intrusive thought? Is this my future self? Is this anxiety? Is this God? Is this the God of my understanding? Who is talking? What's going on in here? I like that for everybody. Okay. The 20th, we have the solstice. I just want to see where the moon's going to be on the solstice. Hold on. I mean, Sag, Jesus God. Okay. So I will have an entire video on the solstice. If you're local to Gloucester, I'm going to be hosting with my dear friend Sarah and with a special guest Raquel. We're going to be hosting a retreat style Keep in Power yoga. I'm very, very excited about that. That'll be on the Friday, the 21st. It's gonna be on the full moon. And so I'm Jazz. We're all gonna do our specialty. She's a yoga instructor, a very gifted light worker. Raquel's gonna lead us through song. We're gonna be, dancing. I'll be channeling, doing tarot. We're talking about astrology, all different things. So if you're Gloucester local, definitely go check that out. They have not started the advertisements for that just yet, but it'll be coming soon. So I'll post all that here. Hold on, I just wanted to see what did I do? Sorry, I don't even know how many tabs open. Please hold. If you've met me in person, you know I am not the most technical person. There we go. We're back. Sorry. So I just wanted to check the moon because for key dates, this is God's quarterly, and we've been in the Aries equinox energy, which is when the sun went into Aries, and then went into Taurus, and then went into Gemini. So I'll put the link for that below as well. Aries equinox, because it's God's quarterly. So that video is still applicable. There's many lenses that we can view this time period through, and that's why we gotta stay as grounded as can be. I wanted to reference that. The grounding medicine. I'll talk about that at the end. So when the sun goes into Cancer, and that video, the title has already come through. It's about coming home. And so if we knew Gemini season, talked about it, senior year. I don't repeat all those. I can't put all the links below. So definitely just go find them. They're worth your time. But like I had said at the beginning of Gem season, we had about a month to make our decisions. Am I getting on the love? I heard it. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Are we getting on the love train or are we getting on the fear train? People all join hands, start a love train, love train. Okay, so I love that the moon is over in Sagittarius. Moon in Sag is like quest, adventure, high education, long distance travel, philosophy. It's run by Jupiter. Tons and tons and tons of Jupiter energy. Tons and tons and tons of far-reaching energy. So, see yourself in the future. What is she doing? What is he doing? What are they wearing? This is manifestation 101, but it's going to happen so efficiently right now if you focus on that. Really, if I see it in the future now, if I see future Sarah doing something, I'm doing it now. I'm taking steps towards it now. And visualizing it and daydreaming into it and spending time sinking into that and calming my nervous system and preparing for that. All of this is nervous system regulation. This is not just my language. Mastin Kipp, definitely go check out his work. Okay, where are we? That's the solstice coming home. I'll do an entire video on that. And then on the 21st, I'm going to have full moon in Capricorn. It's going to be very intense. It's going to be a lot. And I've made notes because at first it was like, self-deprecation cannot exist, keep going, rebrand it, the mountain, the work. History repeats itself. Take it all, make it good. So we know that quantum physics states that all things are happening, all time and space, right now, right here and right now. That's not just my language. That's documentable. That's proven. So I don't have to prove that to you. With that being said, we can see the negative, what we've branded as negative, of history repeating itself. Empire cycles, Pluto returns, all of those different things. I think it was April video, Be a Pioneer. We are creating the new world with our thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. Take all the lenses of the past 50 minutes of what I've just said and project you are birthing the new world. You. This is very never-ending story of me. You. I'm talking directly to you. You are creating this new world right now with your thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. Every single thing that you do. But I don't want that to be anxiety producing, because in the future, I already talked about this. When was it? In my last Monday video, I forget what it was, like something or, where I talked about in the future, lack free, everybody has everything that they need. Everyone's taken care of. We've created it all. We know that happens. We're going to have to experience boredom. There's no fear porn. There's no negative things coming. There's no lack. There's no this. There's no that. So what I want you to focus on is more relaxation and bouginess, because money isn't real, George. What movie? Name that movie. If everybody has everything, then everybody can have top tier everything. So it's okay to have standards. It's okay to want things to be that way. And it's very, very, like, I don't believe in, how do I say? I've been homeless and penniless pretty much on the side of the road, and I've had to make decisions out of complete fear. And I don't believe that that's what's meant for us as a whole. I don't think that it's going to be like, me, have all this stuff. It's just going to be, we have what it is that we need, and we don't have to worry about our needs being tended to and taken care of. We can also have what it is we desire, but our desires will shift. Because if everybody can have a Lambo, it's not really, it's only the people who really want fast cars that are going to want a Lambo. Yeah, I visualize, and I've mentioned this many times before, that the world that I want to live in is where everybody has a horse and buggy and a flying car. So you can really just go wherever you want, do whatever you want, and say whatever you want, and just like, it's freedom. It's beautiful. I have love train stuck in my head. Okay. So what I visualize coming up around this full moon, because like I said, this is mother, this is father, Capricorn, legacy, public life, and career. My natal moon is in Capricorn. So I love that, like, I'm very well versed and able to speak to the Mars in Taurus and the moon in Capricorn, because these are my natal placements. Sometimes I wake up, before I've meditated, before I've grounded, before I've done anything, my brain, my intuition, my moon, the Capricorn moon is like, did you monetize it all yet? Yeah? Have you helped hundreds of thousands of people this morning? Yeah, there's that idea that you had yesterday that we gave you last night. Did you record it yet? Did you record it yet? Did you record it? Did you record it yet? No? Oh, okay. Okay. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I don't even peed. I haven't even grounded. I don't even know what's going on. Like, I don't really know what's going on just yet. I just woke up. I've been astral traveling and doing work all night. I'd be like, but in this time and space, there's a lot more information. There's a lot more you could do. Yeah. Did you sweep that corner of the house also? Did you do that yet? No? Okay. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. You're fine. Okay. Okay. So I want us to rebrand it. I want us to I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That's how it feels. So this will be a nice time for everyone to experience like Sarah's brain a little bit. So when it comes to the moon in Capricorn and this, we're releasing mother-father issues, we're releasing those expectations. And I talked about that a little bit on the full moon in Sag video. There's a short that I really have to post, and I'll do that today, where it's like the establishments, we know the establishments are crumbling. We know, I don't even have to talk about that. I don't want to give it any, but if you are choosing to maybe like go into a schooling system, a university of some kind, but you have absolutely no idea what you want to do, check in on the relationship that you have with your father first and recognize that you are very loved exactly as you are. You can take as much time between action and reaction to transmute that into a response. Yeah, you don't have to wait for like time to tell you what it is that you need to do. Yeah, so I pulled tarot cards for the senior barbecue. It's my second year doing it, and hopefully I'll get to be asked every year to do it for the high school, for the seniors, when they have their barbecue and things like that. And I was busy from the second I sat down to the second I left, and I was the last physical person to leave. Yeah, the people were coming to pick up the rubbish. Every teacher had left, and I was there for the sophomores after the seniors had the juniors after the seniors had left. So people are keen for this information, to speak to the divine and the God of their understanding, to spirit, to everybody. And so there's a few kiddos that had come down, and I was just like, hey, what's next? And the ones who were like, oh, I'm taking a year, I'm not doing this, I'm going to buy a company, I want to do this, I want to get the paper, They had a speech literally booked. And I'm sitting inside like, yes, do it. I'll like educate yourself. Tony Robbins, do the thing. Yeah, I'm so excited. And they had it was just like on autopilot. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, you're actually listening to your intuition. If you don't know what to do, then learn sales, learn entrepreneurship, follow that. And don't let someone tell you what they want you to be. There's a lot of kiddos that are going into psychology and mental health, and I'm really proud of them. I'm really, really excited. A lot of these kiddos, and please, I talk about it in my Respect Your Elders video. I'm not going to put all the links. I can't. I just put it, just Respect Your Elders, quote unquote elders, Sarah Botticelli on YouTube, because our elders physical deserve respect, but the kiddos deserve respect. Also, I have a whole digital download. The link is always below for the generational quests. So if you're not really sure what your quest is, you can kind of like look at the lens of my generation and what we're here to. The teenagers literally have the codes. Please start listening to them, for the love of God. And like I said at the beginning, I offer teen and tween and 20-year-old self-mastery and stuff like that. So reach out directly. Okie dokie. Last date I want to talk about, and then I'll put up the planets that are not mentioned. So on the 29th, we are going to have Saturn joining the retrograde party that Pluto's already retrograde, has been for a little while. Saturn's going to go retrograde in Pisces at 19 degrees, right over here. Right over here. The same day, we have Lilith going into Libra. And so I just want to give a disclaimer about Lilith, that Lilith is a void in the sky. So you can follow the true Lilith and the mean Lilith. There's so much to say to that, but so the reason that I follow the Lilith, the mean, is because natally that placement resonates more with me and my human avatar. That's how quantum astrology is. You can pick. You can choose. It's also for people that don't know the time of their birth and the moon was in 2 different signs that day. Definitely go check out my birth chart basics. That is for you if you're interested in that. If you don't know how to read the planets, the moon, it's a digital download. The link is below in the description. You get to trust your intuition. You get to learn about this. And so that's why I follow this Lilith, but that Lilith, both Liliths are now in Libra. So there's nobody, you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose. So that's a big day. That's a heavy hitter day. And I think that's on a Saturday. Yep, the 29th. It's just like a Saturn going retrograde in Pisces. I don't hate that at all. We also, I'll put down honorable mention. We have Neptune and Pisces at 29 degrees. These 2 planets are going to be exceptional exceptionally important in 2025. They are going to be going into the sign of Aries pretty much together. It's going to be a complete shifting of energy. These are two very slow-moving planets. I don't even want to talk about it completely right now. But Saturn going retrograde in Pisces, Saturn is our inner disciplinarian. It's kind of like we know that at 29 you have the Saturn return, and that's usually when things kind of like crumble, or what's going on? Why is everything just like a little bit harder for me? That's not just my language. That's not just my language. It's common knowledge. That's more common knowledge than the full moons are. When it comes to astrology, I feel like that's kind of like the first time that people are like, if you've never followed astrology before and you don't, follow the full moons and the new moons and stuff like that, you turn 29 and you're like, oh, Jesus God, what's going on over here? I'm listening to my guides. They're saying that when you get it, you get it. But there's still a lot of people that are choosing not to look at their parental projections, a full body chill, into the establishments that they've trusted for a very long time. And this is not just my language, but my guides want to say that this message is for, this message is coming in so hot in a way that every channeler is speaking to this right now. The projection of the mother-father issues, like politically, this is my Papa President and he will save us. And there's nothing wrong with my Papa President because I've projected that onto the Papa President. And so when that Papa President has something really, really bad happen, or the establishment itself just shows to crumble, it's almost overwhelming. And I speak to that in the Jupiter and Gemini video about psychosis and real like madness, people really losing it. We all have to awaken. We all have to ascend. But people, they're saying, like, think in your own life where you've repeated a pattern, you've repeated a pattern, repeated a pattern, and it gets tougher and tougher and tougher each time until finally you're like, okay, I'll learn my lesson. I won't answer that text. I won't go back to my ex, pardon me. I won't do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I will heal. That's a lot of the collective on the fear train right now. So really know and get excited when things happen in ways that to you are like, I'm sorry, what? That is terrifying. Send them love and say, wow, okay, this is great, because now the people that aren't looking at their mother-father issues have to. And so it's just very intense and intimidating for those people, because if they question one thing, what else do they have to question? The whole thing crumbles, the whole painting crumbles down. So this is where you come in. Start talking about your healing process a little bit more to people within your maybe acquaintance community, and don't share your inner workings, like hold it all back, but you can like hold the specificities back, but say, yeah, I really spent the day processing some of my family issues yesterday, or I really had a big cry yesterday about, my ego stuff. Like broad brushstrokes. You don't have to give away. And I talk about that a lot. Don't share your, do I have the picture? Drew a picture at the senior barbecue. Where is it? And it's an image that I've given many a times. I don't know where it is. Let's check one more time. So, I want you to draw this picture and list them out. This is your inner circle. These are your VIPs. These are your ride or dies. When the zombie apocalypse happens, when SHIT goes down, we all get in the car together. The people that you really ask to judge you, they're here. These are your acquaintances. These are people a little bit outside that maybe you work with them, you respect them, you like them, you can share a little bit with them, you go for walks with them, but you don't give away the farm. This, everybody else, peripherals. You see them at the cafe. You love them, you respect them, but you do not call them. On holidays, you care for them, you see them, you wave, you say hello, how are the kids doing, all over here. This is family sometimes, where you're responsible for family. You have to bubble them. You have to take care of them. You have to do all of these things. There's a digital download called Sarah's Protocol. It's completely free. It's listed below. The link is below. Go take a look at that. When you're ready to take over that, listen to that. So you're responsible for them, but you can't always share what you're experiencing, because sometimes your family has never created a mission before. They've never done that. They've never built a company. They've never been an entrepreneur. So when you share what it is that you're going through, a lot of their negative ego or jealousy or frustration over what they didn't do will come out, and you don't want that to weasel into your brain. For mental health as well, when you're responsible for family and you have to reparent your parents a little bit, can't talk to them all the time. You have to say, hey, I need some time for myself. I'm going to get out on the boat. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to go to the beach, and then I'll come over for dinner. And you have to set boundaries. It's not always easy. But we have to remember this arrow. Sometimes acquaintances want to weasel their way into the inner circle. You cannot give away the farm. Cancers especially right now. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. Not everybody's on your team, but they want the playbook. I want you to be very specific as to who is in these little circles over here. I don't remember where we started or why, but that was very important for us to see. So I'm excited that that came through. Thank you so much to my guidance team for that. But like, you can see how many times I drew that and wrote over it. So you're not the only person that needed that. Saturn going retrograde in Pisces. On my playlist, The Longer Range Transit, I talk about Saturn in Pisces. Mental health is no joke right now. You need to know who you can share with. You need to have someone that can hold space for you effortlessly. Reach out. All of my services are friends and family right now. Please reach out. We can set up a free 15-minute consult to see if I can help you with whatever you're in. I wanted to make it accessible for people to be able to have recurring times with me, to know that you're not alone. Truly, please reach out. All right, honorable mentions. Uranus is going to be alone in Taurus. Where is she? Actually, no, Mars is going to be in Taurus as well. Uranus is at 24, and we'll go to 25 degrees of Taurus. That's exciting. South node in Libra. North node in Aries. Okay. This is going to be fascinating. Lilith going into Libra, or Lilith in Libra, whichever black moon you follow. Whichever black moon you follow. The South node has been demolishing the sign of Libra for months now. We're more than halfway through this transit. The North node is going to be going from 12 to 11 degrees of Aries. I'm having my nodal return right now. My North node is in Aries. And so this is a very exciting time to be alive. I'm listening to my guides. Those that have chosen fear, you'll be able to see it brazenly and effortlessly. So start to really understand that everyone will be necessary. You all have a community to help. You all have people that need you. You all have someone that's going to be looking to you, whether it be consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously, for guidance, for an archetype as to like, how are you doing this? What are you doing? And people are really paying attention. People really are. Whether it's, they're watching the way that I'll speak from I statements. People are watching the way that I navigate, watching the way that I'm asking, I want to share something with you. So I work in service, and I'm give or take about 10 years older than the majority of the people I work with. There's a lot of, career waiters or people that, moonlight as waiters, or, like me, are, on mission and, can't go back to the corporate world and are creating a universe with their thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. And I work at the best restaurant in Gloucester. Absolutely. It's the busiest, it's the top tier, highest quality food, highest quality service that you could ever possibly imagine. Like, please, come visit, and I'll take care of you on Friday, Saturday. I do Monday, Friday, Saturdays usually. And so one of my dear friends and coworkers, he was having a rougher Saturday night. I'm trying to find my tissue. And, Taurus season, it hits hard because we don't really expect it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's here. And, we have a lot of 6 and 6ers. So we have a lot of our Floridians coming back to Gloucester. It's a great time. It's a great time. But it's also, the Meet Maid was out because, tourists were making their own parking spots on last Saturday night. Like, it was just, there's a basic human kindness of Gloucester. We literally live in the Sandlot that if you're not from around here, you're just like, oh my God, what is going on over here? But it's like, just be frickin' kind. Don't be nice, but be kind. Like, let people go in traffic. There's only 2 lights in Gloucester. It's the land of no lights. So he was like, why are people, people don't want my, he's like, I got to tone it down. I can't be myself. I can't, nobody wants me, nobody wants my service today. They just want basic, waitering and blah, 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 blah. And I stopped and I said, this is the first question. And for anyone who works in service, please jot this down because it's a really helpful tool. The first question I ask every single one on my table after, I've basically graded them, what type of water would you like, bottled or tap water, and I order their bread, and then I'm coming over and I'm watering the table. And the first question that I ask every single table is, what are you celebrating tonight? What are you celebrating tonight? It could be a birthday, anniversary, my friends are in town, I'm so excited, this is wonderful. That's one bucket. Another bucket is, life. I'm celebrating this beautiful day. I'm alive. I woke up this morning. Not everybody did. Oh my goodness. Life is beautiful. That's another bucket. Another bucket. What are you celebrating tonight? Nothing. Just dinner out. Just dinner out. That will tell you what type of service you give to every single one of those tables. Not everybody wants Healer Sarah. Some people just want food and beverage, and that has nothing to do with me. Some people, I work for a really incredible owner, manager teams. I get to be myself, but I also don't want to project onto people when they don't want Sarah. They don't need Sarah. They're going to get a waiter, and I'm very good at what I do, regardless of the bucket. That has nothing to do with me. So what are you celebrating tonight translates to what type of service would you like to receive this evening? And it has nothing to do with you. Just give your customer what it is that they want. And so now, my friend, every table, he's like, that makes so much sense. So now when I walk by and I see him, then you don't have to take it personally. When you're trying to tell a joke and you're trying to be bumped and you're trying to make them happy and laugh, sometimes people don't want that. And that's nothing to do with you. But when you've been in service for as long, I've really had my first service job when I was 12 years old. I'm incredibly qualified to give this information to you. So give the customer what it is that they want. I can't stand that phrase, the customer is always right. You have to make them feel like they're right. That's it. That's it. If something is wrong with their food, you take all the time and energy that you need to make sure that they receive something that does make them happy. Sometimes you can't make them happy, sometimes, and that is what it is. It is what it is. But do everything in your power to give the best service that you possibly can. If you're going to scrub toilets, do it to the best of your ability. Regardless, what is it? How you do one thing is how you do everything. So that's that. Okay, I'm going to round it up with the medicine that you can look at astrologically based. So, see how every sign has an opposite sign. Aries, opposite Libra. Taurus, opposite Scorpio. Gemini, Sag. Cancer, Cap. Leo, Aquarius. Virgo, Pisces. Opposite signs. So I want you to look at either your sun sign, if you're very new to astrology, or your sun, moon, and rising, your big 3. And this is how you can look at what type of medicine that you need. I'll go for myself, for example. I'm an Aries sun. So my ego, Aries, fire. The medicine for that is Libra, air. I like to go for a drive after a lot of private sessions. Where I drive to the grocery store, I drive to Whole Foods, I do a back shore drive, get in the air, in my face, just really getting some clarity, getting the wind on me. It is so clearing. It is so clearing. because I am not, my human is not the consciousness. I am not the channel. I am a channeler, but it's like, unless I have someone to work with, this information is absolutely useless. It's like the parable of, I forget who I heard this from, but it's like, when you are a channel, you are the electrical wire that gets to plug into source energy. I plug into God, I talk to God, my guidance comes through, all is well. But unplugged, that electrical wire is a rope. It's useless. So to remind myself, it's very Marcus Aurelius. I do this after most sessions and after most waitering days as well. I'm just a person. I'm just a human being like you, like everybody else. I sit on the toilet the same way. And so reminding myself in that drive, you're okay. It's just you. It's just you. You're good. So fire, air. Fire, air, fire, air. Like I referenced before, my moon sign is in Capricorn. So my intuition is very like, water energy. Get into the ocean. A good shower cry. That's very, very healing for me. Very, very healing. Yeah, the end of the Saturday night at a restaurant when everybody's going out, I'm just like, I'm so excited. I'm gonna shower cry and I'm gonna get it all off and I'm just gonna feel myself again. I'm gonna eat some mangoes and, like, just if I can't go to sleep, I'll watch some Ancient Aliens or documentary and then I'm just gonna go to bed. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. They're like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, actually, that's the medicine that I need. So, earth signs, cry it out. Earth sign, cry it out. Earth sign, cry it out. My rising sign is Scorpio. It's my ascendant over here. So my descendant is Earth. So it is incredibly healing for me to do some Earth stuff. Get into the garden, hug a tree, go into the woods, even go over my bills. Like, doing very pentacle-based stuff helps my ascendant, the mask that I wear to the world, take that ego off and just say, you're just a person. You're just a person. So look at, and for my air signs, some fire energy. Air, fire, air, fire. Water, earth, water. For my water signs, especially my water signs, my Pisces, my Cancer, and my Scorpios that live in Gloucester, I know we want to go to the water, but I need you to go to the woods right now. Water's going to feel so good. It's going to feel like that warm blanket feeling, but I need you to actually go to the woods and walk in the woods, like the woods, and hug a tree and get in the garden. So water will feel very safe, but it will also feel a little bit too safe, where the medicine doesn't always feel good. So I just wanted to highlight that. I was chatting with a friend on Instagram yesterday just about this, like Pisces feeling all the feelings, the woods, hug a tree, grounding. The water goes through your hands. And so that just can be overly emotional to say, like, it's kind of like when you have sand that falls through your hands, where you're like, is anything real? What is, like, it's going to be a little bit too illusion, disillusion, dissipation is the word that's coming to me. The tree, the energy of the tree has been around a lot longer than you and will be here a lot longer than you. You do not have to figure it out. Give it to the tree, the trees. Go to the mountains. Go to Ravenswood. Go somewhere where there's no water and you just, I don't even want you going to the quarry. I literally want you going into the woods. Leave the island. I know. Leave the island. That's for my Pisces, my Scorpios, and my Cancers. Specifically in Gloucester, specifically. Placements as well. Is there anything else? Please share this video with your community if you'd like to really start welcoming more people into your practice, into what it is that you work on, and into what it is that you do. Share this with other people. Comment. It's a nice way to be like, hey, you know, this girl, she's got little bedazzles on your face and she's channeling, you know, angels and aliens and all these different things, but she's spitting facts and she comes from corporate and she's a leader. And, you know, it's just, this might be helpful for you for what you're experiencing and what you're going through. Things are happening so rapidly. So I'm actively listening to the egoic messages that hit my ego that say, you can't have right now this exclusive group. You have to share these channels and this information for all. For all. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for the YouTubers, for the divine feminines, for the divine masculines, for those that give away so much for free. When I was borderline homeless and like really confused and really frustrated and didn't know where to go or what to do, I educated myself and I learned and I meditated and I channeled and I tripped and I fell. And so although I have said, you know, I'm offering, you know, the new moons and the full moons on the day of, and that, like, that's not enough. If anything that I offer you is helpful or has been helpful, then please, by all means, donate to my mission. It gives me the capacity to give more. Please, I appreciate every single one of you. I am grateful. Thank you. But I can't say to God, this is the only avenue. This is the only way. This little group is the only way that I'm allowing you to bless me. Not easy for my ego. You can see the floundering inside of myself. You can see it happening. And so I am grateful. I am here for it. This is not easy stuff. This is an hour and 20 minutes of information that I've thrown at you. I'm aware that I put a lot into my videos. I put a lot out. Like usually if you're brand new to my table, about 6 months of information and work I've given you. But the universe, when you say, I trust you, when you say, God, I trust you, I'm going to show up, I'm going to do this work. Like I say in the description, my voice, my as unlocks codes inside of you. You'll understand multidimensionality a lot more after watching my videos. Truly, truly. That's all she wrote. We'll have individual videos for the new moon and the solstice and the full moon. Will be the workshops. You have tons of information end of June. I'll put the links below for everything. Grounding medicine. And call me if you need anything. I love you.